All right, we're going to work on worksheet 3.2, Parallel Lines and Transversals. We will be focusing on the corresponding angles, the alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and consecutive interior angles. Remember, for most of these pairs, we kind of have that special letter that we're looking for. In the consecutive interior angles, that's where we're looking for the C or the U. Two angles will be between the lines and both on the same side. For the alternate interior angles, we'll be looking for the Z. That's where the two angles are between the lines but on different sides of the transversal. And the corresponding angles, that's where we will be looking for the letter F. The two angles will both be on the same side of the transversal, but both above or below the angles, not either interior or exterior. There will be one of each. Alternate exterior angles, those don't have a special letter, but they will both be outside the lines that we're looking at. For question number 1, we're looking at angles 3 and 9. So if I trace those two angles, angle 3 and angle 9, and then I try to connect those, I notice that it makes more of a Z shape. That makes those alternate interior angles. Remember, cover up the right-hand side of the page, and that will help you focus just on the letter that we're looking at there. For question number 2, we're looking at angles 5 and 13. So if I trace angle 5, and then I trace angle 13, and then I see if they connect, and I can draw that up. Do you see the upside down F? That makes those corresponding angles. And then the last one that I kind of wanted to focus on was question number 6. In question 6, we're tracing angles 1 and then angle 11 down below. And if you notice, there's no way to extend those lines and connect them to each other. That's an example of the alternate exterior. Angles. Notice that this being the interior part of the lines, those are both on the outside of the lines. For the next section here, we're going to be completing a sentence that helps us describe what kind of angles we have and what their measures are. The directions say, given the measure of one angle, find the measure of angle 1 and the measure of angle 2. We would like you to circle the angle you find first. Complete the sentence for each angle measure using only the angles given and the special angle pair names and how they are related, supplementary, or congruent. We will be having quiz questions that will follow the same format, so it's important to practice it in this style. And it also, depending on which you answer first, can give you a few different possibilities for answers. So we want to make sure you get credit for everything that you have. In question number 7, we have 120 degrees right here. And if I look at that, there's a couple different ways we can go. I noticed that if I extend that, I have vertical angles, and that's from back in our original chapter, chapter 1. Those are always equal, and that's an easy thing to look for. So it's possible that you could say angle 1 first. The measure of angle 1 is equal to 120 degrees because vertical angles are always equal. And then if you do that, you could follow up angle 2 a couple different ways. You could use the 120 and see corresponding angles. Or you could use angle 1 that we've just talked about and use alternate interior angles. In either case, they both turn out to be 120 degrees. So we could write angle 2 is 120 degrees because corresponding angles are equal. Or we could write because alternate interior angles are equal. Both answers acceptable and correct. If we look at question number 9, we can practice one more time. Notice that we have the 45-degree angle right here. And in this case, the only angle that matches with that by a special angle name is angle 2. There is the Z, our alternate interior angles. So we would have to answer angle 2 first. That equals 45 degrees because alternate interior are equal. Remember, we're including equal or supplementary in all of our sentences. And then we would follow that up by finding angle 1, and then we would notice that we have a linear pair. So if we have 45 here, we would have to have 135 here. They are on the straight line right here. So we would say that angle 1 equals 135 degrees because linear pairs equal 180 degrees. Try the next couple here. We will keep practicing the style question where we finish our sentence so that we make sure that we get it understood. The last couple questions here are where we have to find measures of the angles, and we're going to use our special angle pair names to continue on with this. So if I look at question 13, I notice I have 120 up here on top, and down below I have another 120 degree angle. Those are alternate exterior angles. So there we've identified the measure of the angle and we've named it. And then we will find the measure of angle X, noticing here that we have these two angles on the straight line. That means X would have to be 60 degrees because they are a linear pair, and linear pairs always add up to 180 degrees. If we move down to question 19, this one is just a little bit more involved. We have to move around some numbers to kind of figure out where we want to go. For question 19, the two angles that we have here and here, if we trace those out, we notice that they don't make any kind of angle. They don't make the F, they don't make the C, they don't make a C, they make nothing special. But if we move a couple angles around, we can get to something that's useful. This 112 can be moved right here because those are corresponding angles. And then I have these two angles on a straight line, and I know that they have to add up to 180 degrees. And so now I have an equation that I could solve. Remember, when you're solving that equation, you add like terms. So I can take the 112 and take away 4. So I have 2x plus 108 equals 180. From there we will minus the 108. So we have 2x equals 72. And then the very last part here we will divide by 2. And we get x equals 36. Question says find the value of x. We are all done with that. Good luck with the rest. We'll see you tomorrow in class.